welcome to QED NG. I am Adanma Amairi and I am here once again with Olumide Nyoda. So let's jump straight into today's topic. So we'll be talking about Genevieve. I saw a recent video of her at an event stating that while trying to break into Hollywood, she felt like a commodity. I'm coming. I know Genevieve. Genevieve is someone I hold in high esteem. Not just me, I know most Nigerians hold her in high esteem. I watched Genevieve from me being a child to this and someone, Hollywood. She felt like a commodity in Hollywood. Okay, apart from that, she mentioned something else that if she had wanted to get into Hollywood, she would have done that. It's not a big deal. But then, we know most Nollywood actors and actresses want to get into Hollywood, but she has the opportunity and she's unable to. No, she has the opportunity, but she's deciding not to. Can I please get your opinion on this?
Okay, Adama, thanks again for this. You are not the only one who holds Genevieve in high esteem. She's also one of my favorite actresses. Favorite actors, let me even say actors, combining that means both male and female. And on a personal note, I like her so much because she's one of the very few Nigerian celebrities who mind their business. Unlike a lot of other people, Genevieve only discusses her business.
Yeah.
You don't see her get involved in all this online banter, all this talk about other people, talk about other. Genevieve minds her business. So when she's talking about what has happened to her, about her career, I think we need to take it seriously. And she spoke recently at an event in the Bahamas. That's Creative in African Nexus, CANEX. Okay. And she was talking about her experience after she directed Lionheart. Lionheart, interestingly, was released in 2018. It was the first Nigerian original released by Netflix. It was also submitted for Oscar by the Nigeria Oscar Committee, but it was disqualified. So here is Genevieve saying that she thought that she could do more in Hollywood. Now, I don't know in what capacity she wanted to do more, but if I want to assume from what she said, maybe she wanted to do more in the capacity of a director after Lionheart, because she said that she thought that after Lionheart that she could do more in Hollywood. I mean, she could do more, but she felt like a commodity. And she said that they claim they want African story, but they want African story from their perspective because of all of this thing. But the truth of the matter, if nobody else knew, Genevieve should know that Hollywood is all about Hollywood. Hollywood is about the American film industry. Every other person coming from outside is an outsider. So you are not going to come in and tell your African stories your own way. I'm sorry, because it is strictly business. And you also should ask yourself, how many filmmakers from Africa, I'm not talking of filmmakers of African descent, I'm talking of filmmakers from Africa, have managed to break into Hollywood, no matter how big they are. You can almost count them on the fingers of a mutilated hand. So it will be a tough ask to expect Genevieve, in spite of what she's done, and she's done a lot. And her journey to Lionheart took her several years. But before Lionheart, I think it was 2014, 2015, she wore the hat of a producer for the first time with a film called Road to Yesterday. Then after that, she directed Lionheart. You would expect more, being the first Nigerian film to be acquired. I mean, the first Netflix original. Yeah. But that didn't happen because Hollywood is for Hollywood. Genevieve is big. I think one of the worst things anybody have ever said about Nollywood, and I'm sorry about it, I think some people found it positive, but I didn't. The fact that someone called Genevieve the Julia Roberts of Africa, I think that was disrespectful. Genevieve is not the Julia Roberts of Africa. Genevieve is the Genevieve of the world. So is that enough for Hollywood to open its doors to her? I do not necessarily think so. But I think when she now said that, well, I could have gone into Hollywood, but I'm back in Nigeria doing things for Nollywood. For me, that's usually better. Nollywood, do what you can with Nollywood. Take it out there. You can call the shots in Nollywood as much as you can. You can take the films out there. You can tell your stories the way you want to. The world can only ignore you for so long. Now, like I said, I don't know what happened, the exact context in which he's saying that. Maybe the Hollywood she's referring to is actually Netflix or any other streaming platform, because she has not done any other project on Netflix since Lionheart. And others have done several projects after her, even some who don't have names as big as her own. So, in the context of what I wanted to break into Hollywood, I don't know whether it was as an actor or as a director, but Hollywood will always be Hollywood first. And don't also forget, when a film was disqualified for the Oscar, some people were saying that why would they disqualify it? After all, the language that they spoke. But they told you that, look, we said that we want a film done in your language. We set the parameters for this thing. There were some people who spoke in her favor. I've forgotten that lady's name now. One American director, Ava DuVernay or something like that, and some other people. But look, it is their show at the end of the day. They can only tolerate you. I'm sorry, that is the bitter truth. It's about self-preservation. It is business for them. So if this is the way they want to tell their stories, they are going to tell their stories the way they want. But you can choose to tell your own stories on the platform and on the space that you have. And Genevieve really is very, very good. You can't ignore her. She's spoken at virtually every major film platforms in the world. I've watched her speak live at the Toronto International Film Festival. This Carnex that was held was in the Bahamas. She's spoken at other platforms. But Hollywood is what Hollywood is. And Genevieve is good at minding her business, but this time around, Hollywood too decided to mind its own business.
Okay, let's for now keep Genevieve aside. Let's bring our minds to Hollywood and Nollywood. So from time past, we've had this perspective that Hollywood is so much far better than Nollywood, and Nollywood can never ever get to that standard. So if you were to say something, I know our directors are getting better at their movie and all. So if you were to say something, would you say one day, maybe one day, Nollywood will be viewed in the same light as Hollywood?
Nollywood will never be viewed in the same light as Hollywood. If you are talking in terms of quality, maybe.
Yes.
But Hollywood, we can only improve. Hollywood too won't sleep. I think one of the mistakes our people have made over the years is wanting to break into Hollywood. I don't think you really, you can aspire. Well, okay, don't let me say people shouldn't dream. Yeah, but a lot of people have lost their illustrious career with the fixation, with the obsession that they want to break into Hollywood. And Hollywood, there's so much, I don't want to use certain words, certain expression, but we know Hollywood for what it is. We know some certain elements, certain interests that drive that particular industry. So it's whether we will ever get there. I will ever be like Hollywood. I don't think we will ever be like Hollywood, but we will continue to grow. And don't forget that Hollywood is not the only film industry in the world. There's Bollywood in India. The Chinese are there. The Koreans are there. They are doing their own thing. And I remember seeing a Korean director at the Cannes Film Festival in 2008. And you can say this is long ago, many, many years ago. And he said to me that he has never bothered about wanting to break into Hollywood because they've got the population. That with the population that they have in Asia, if I can be speaking to over how many billions of people, if I can reach out to billions of people at the same time, that Hollywood will actually come looking for me. And the truth is that Hollywood will come. They may still tell the story from their own perspective, but Hollywood will come. They will, some Nigerians have acted. It's not as if Nigerians have not acted in Hollywood films before. We've had Lulu Jacobs. Lulu Jacobs has been in the Hollywood production before. A Hollywood film was shot in Nigeria. Mr. Johnson, Pierce Brosnan, former 007 James Bond, came to Nigeria to shoot a film. Hubert Ogunde was in that film. Yeah? So it's not as if But you see, it is still their film. The films will star our people, but those films are still, they can always be collaboration. We can collaborate, but the idea of us wanting to break into the place, there's no need to break into the place. The door for Nollywood is already open to you. So enter into it and have as much fun as you can.
Okay. So last question. Let's bring our minds back to the subject matter. So from now on, speaking personally, what should we be expecting from Genevieve?
I don't know. When Genevieve will disappear and appear. And every time she appears, I mean, people are always waiting for her. Don't forget that after last year, she was part of the production of a film called I Did Not Come to You by Chance. The film premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival. The film was also at AfriFilm in Lagos. I see her doing a lot of things. You know, there was a time when there was this speculation about the state of her health and stuff like that. She kept quiet, then she came back. Genevieve has always she's always been one to mind her business.
Yeah.
She does her things privately. Her life is very private. Even as she shares with the public as much as she chooses to share, even though she's a very, very big person, a very, very popular person. She will always get better. And she's one of the creatives in Africa that nobody can ignore. That is why she was at Canex in the first place. And from what she said at that Canex, you could also hear that she's also looking at other opportunities for funding, for co-production, and for doing big things. So we can only expect big things from Genevieve.
All right. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. We are glad to have you. We've heard all Olumide Nnaji said and would like to get your opinions and your views. Also, please like, comment. Let's get your feedback. Follow us on all social media platforms. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Till next time, I remain Adanma Amahiri.